What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brees, and you're now tuned into the hottest upcoming platform for all the entrepreneurs, creatives, business professionals, investors, and entertainers around New York City. Right. So today we have a special guest, but kind of not really a special guest because this is actually our new co-host, Lanaya. Everybody, give it up for Lanaya, and you're gonna be seeing a lot more of her in the future. Right. So I'm gonna let Lanaya go ahead and give a brief introduction about herself, as an entrepreneur and, what she's expecting out of the podcast and things of that nature. So go ahead, take it away.
Okay, cool. My name's Lanaya. I enjoy meeting new people, networking. I do spoken word poetry, and I really just love meeting new people, love creating new relationships. I'm very excited to be a part of this podcast and just add into the energy and the good vibes. Is there like editing? They cutting stuff out.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll handle that. We'll handle that. It's fine.
I love animals. I've known Breeze for many years now, and I'm just really excited to see where this goes and grows.
Yeah, so backstory was actually Lanaya was one of the first people I wanted to have as a co-host on this show with Mike and Taylor. Because originally it was going to be 4 people, but then we also thought about doing 3. But then also, too, me and Lanaya were out of touch at the time. But we're not gonna act like it was that bad because obviously we're here. But yeah, no, when I posted something on Instagram, I was like, I'm thinking about doing a 4th co-host, but I'm not sure what y'all think. Everybody was like, yeah, add more people, like go for it, go ahead. I was like, all right, so if this girl pulls up right now and comments on this post right now, she's getting added to it. And then I didn't say who it was gonna be. I just said if she comments, just know spot is taken, right? And there's a bunch of pick-me's like, oh, I know he's talking about me. No, I was not talking about you, right? And then you commented. I said, oh, she's here. All right, deuces, y'all. And then now we're here. Right now we're here.
From that perspective, it was so crazy to me because I don't watch a lot of people's stories, and I think a lot of other people are like that too, where you're just like clicking through people's stories, and sometimes I don't even get to a lot of my followers' stories. The algorithm be algorithming. So I just happened to see his post 18 hours in, and I did not think I was the person. I was just like, hey, And then when I found out I was the person, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like 18 hours in, I caught his story. It's about me. So, here I am.
Yeah, 'cause I don't even remember who brought it up. It was me or Mike. One of us brought up the idea of having you. And this was like back in March. It's September now, yeah. And well, technically October 1st. So yeah. So, you definitely been in mind. Definitely been in mind. And like you said, you just gave everybody a little brief introduction to yourself, but also tell them about all your entrepreneurship ventures, entrepreneurial.
Oh yeah, I should talk about my business, right? I'm being shy.
Yeah.
I actually have an infused food business called The Munchies. I make food infused with weed. I've been doing it for about 3 years now. So like right before we got legal in New York around January, I started my infused food business, and then I think March or April, it just legalized out of nowhere, and I just was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. So I do events, game nights. I just did my first 3-course dinner. Back in August, I did my first infused barbecue. I really love bringing people together in the name of cannabis, especially people of color. So
ironically, that's kind of how we rekindled, because it's like, I didn't know I was going. I just heard I was going to a barbecue. And then I was like,
Mike brought Breeze to my infused barbecue.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of food is it? He was like, infused. So I was like, Mike, I don't smoke, right? He was like, just pull up. I'm like, all right. Because we were literally in the studio, too. I forgot what we were doing.
Yeah, Michael took a long time to
get here.
We
came right from the studio to here. I forgot whose shoot we were doing, but we came from the studio to there. And then, I was like, Naya. I was like, oh, a long time no see. So
yes.
Everything was meant for a reason. Kind of like how you said, oh, you don't watch people. The one time you watch somebody's story, boom.
Mm-hmm.
So everything happens for a reason and whatnot. But yeah, so from the infused food, we backtrack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I knew because of the Forex era, right?
Mm-hmm. Investing.
Everybody, trust me, my audience, they know how everything goes with that. So they know IML, I don't have to really say much.
Scheme. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it introduced us to, the exchange market, which I'm still so grateful for.
Yeah.
You got to remember that the company was what it was and not Forex. Because people put Forex in with the whole thing. Forex is Forex, just like stock options is stock options.
Yeah.
It's about the company. So
yeah,
we was lost.
I say it all the time. As much bad things I might have said about people and the company and stuff like that. Not gonna lie, if it wasn't for that, a lot of people would have made the extra money. A lot of people would turn their lives around. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Previous guests of this here, Alejandro and his wife and whatnot. Like um, they did all of this, through forex. All this stuff they were talking about, that was all that started from there, and then went to crypto, and then
Yep. It exposed a lot of people to amazing things and amazing people. I met amazing people while I was in that opportunity. And I learned a lot about myself mentally as well.
Yeah. So so from there it's like, what else have you done, like from what I known you to now with the infused food? Like
So I started my infused food during the pandemic, and that was really what I was like pushing for. I was doing a lot of pop-up shops. I was super involved with my business. I've kind of been just like doing normal jobs and like also balancing my business. But now that I'm getting 23, 24, you're getting more into your 20s, you really want stability. And I work in the hospitality industry, server. I've done customer service rep jobs. I've worked in a law firm before. I've had the whole serious 9 to 5, and it wasn't my thing. Your 20s is really about navigating and doing something that makes you happy. And I've been trying to figure that out. And it's okay to not have it all figured out. But I've definitely figured out what career I want to do. I definitely want to be a flight attendant, and that's what I'm gearing towards. I have an interview pending with Delta for that. And I've just been really focused on the munchies as well, because even though your business may not be making you the most money that you want it to make, as long as you're continuously putting in that effort, it's going to pay off. And a lot of people, sometimes they don't see the instant gratification that they want from their business, and then they just fall back off of it. And that's literally how you lose your audience, you lose your appeal, and you lose the momentum you've been building up. So you got to always put that in. The same way if you were ever in somebody's business or was in IML, the same way we used to post every day for that and put something out there. If you are doing something, you have a craft, you have something special, you have to put it out there. You have to tell people. And it's crazy how I used to be so willing to tell people about investing, and I don't even tell people. The first thing on my mouth is never my business. Even when I introduced myself to you guys, I still did not mention my business.
Yeah, I had to get that one out of her. Like I was just like, what is she doing?
I sometimes I just hold it in.
It's the nerves. She's a little nervous. Yeah.
And I never want to feel like I'm marketing something to somebody. That kind of scarred me so much, like marketing things to people, that my own business, I don't even try to tell people, because I'm like, I'm not trying to push it on you. But if you're, sometimes it's not about pushing something on somebody, just exposing them to it. That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, from all the events, like, what do you think, like, because that's the thing, too. It's like, you were somebody that was deep into that industry right there. Everybody knew you. Like, I feel like a lot of people knew you, So, like, if you had to, like, speak about, like, the issues that went wrong in that situation, what would you say, like, they were?
Oh, heavy manipulation. We were all young. We were all trying to get to some money. I joined when I was 18. We were seeing friends that were making money or getting the illusion of it. I was heavy under the illusion of it because I actually had seen somebody that actually hit real success, real time. One of my friends that got into the business had hit chairman. And he was my direct friend. So when you see somebody that you directly know acquire that type of success, you're like, okay, fine. But there was a lot of manipulation through religion, through mindset, drama. Just felt very high school, as far as like the ranks and stuff and how people are treating you based on what rank you're at. And like, who wants to do a call with you? If you're a P150 with a P5000, you always got to be like, feeling smaller than people. Then like, I don't know. It's a lot of egos were involved, a lot of manipulation, and it just wasn't cool. And I think that a lot of people, we were all like young and we have never been exposed to MLM. That was my first time. I've never done like Prime America or Cutco or whatever, selling knives. I've never done any of those things. I am about my money. So when they put investing into it and made it all about like making money and wealth and like telling other people to like spread the wealth, that's where things kind of got deceptive, because you're literally sitting down. And it's terrible because like some people really did not have that much money, and like they're trying to pay a monthly fee. They're losing money. It was a lot.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because it's like, there's a lot of people with the whole quit your job stuff and whatnot. And it's like
they pushed a lot of different agendas. That was one of the most toxic agendas that they pushed. that even I had ended up doing because they wanted you to devote all your giving time into it. So they gaslit you. They made you feel like if you missed a call to do schoolwork, if you missed a call because you had a shift, you're not in it. You're not really here with us in the field making money. They really gave a lot of scare tactics. When you want to leave, your friend is calling you. The person whose team you're a part of is calling you.
And
they got somebody of a higher rank calling you.
And that's a person you never spoke to a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Pulling
all of a
out all the
sudden it's
stops.
like, you know, they care about you.
Dinners. All these nice little dinners, these nice little things, you know what I'm saying? And all these things are just to reel you in. You know, we're having a dinner, we're getting all these Henny mugs, we're posting videos and photos. One, they're doing it for content. Two, they're doing it to make sure and just reel you in, make sure that they have you there close in the palm of their hands at all times. So it was definitely a lot of like just bad influences. And like, you know, they even started to backtrack on their words and tell people to get their jobs again. They started telling when it was all like falling down and falling apart, they tried to tell us to make our own businesses, make sure you have more streams of income. What happened? I thought you wanted all my time. I thought I was supposed to do this.
I mean,
full-time.
I won't knock them for that because I do feel like it did influence a lot of people to realize, okay, like there'll be people that's like, you know, I hate my job. And then it's like, boom, they started businesses that pretty much made them the same money, if not more. So I could give them credit for that.
I just wish it was genuine. They only did it because they knew it was falling apart.
Yeah.
Like now they're like selling clothes and being content creators.
You
And
got
it's
some
like,
of them being rappers. I'm just like, because that's the
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's like this is something that always used to be a pet peeve of mine. It's like, why when we quote unquote hate people, we follow them on social media. Like I remember when what's it called, when like XXX Tentacion, when he passed away, RP to him. I remember the guy that they thought was the killer at the time. His Instagram went from like 1,000 followers to like 40K in one night.
Every time.
I'm like, why people follow? Like, okay, y'all could go comment whatever you want to comment, but y'all following the guy. I'm sure to this day, he probably still got maybe at least 20K retention on that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And it's like,
Terrible.
with these guys, it's like they manipulated people, and it's like, you know, all these people hate them. Say, oh, I can't wait to see this person. When I do, oh, they owe me money. I'm gonna do this to them. I'm gonna do that. But then it's like you following, liking their picture.
A lot of people
you were
don't
commenting
even,
on their picture, happy birthday. I'm
a
like,
lot
I
of
thought you
people
don't fuck
still
with them.
look up to these people
Excuse
and
my
they
language.
still don't realize how these people were like stepping on them to get to the top. And like I really started to like have
Edification.
such a disdain for the business. The way like, you know, we have single moms and students and all these other people going through real life problems. And like the only thing they care about is like you paying your monthly fee. And they do not give a F about you. If you're not paying that monthly fee, they will not check in with you. They will not do. If they check in, it's literally to try to reel
Bring
you
you
back
right
into
back.
the business. That's like so not genuine and terrible. I literally don't understand why a lot of people still follow those people.
It's really the influencer culture, really.
Yeah. And it's like some people I do enjoy seeing their content, like Keita. Like I've always enjoyed seeing Keita and enjoyed seeing the content. But it's like the cracks definitely started to show the like lack of foundation, the lack of money. You know it's a lack of money when chairmans are speaking out and like crying out, you know, because once the money started to get funny, now everybody is feeling how the P2 feels and the P1 and the P150. Yeah, you guys got high-rise apartments and you're losing your rank and you can't pay for it and you're panicking.
And
So
your
guess
credit
what?
is
They started to
dropping.
leave. They started to drop. They started to leave. And the cracks in the foundation just started to get huge.
Or they just went to other MLMs.
Yeah.
Some of them were still trading based. Some of them were just like other like there's one that's about traveling now.
Yeah.
I forgot what I think it started with J. I forgot what it's called.
I think I know you're talking about too. It's like it's
But I don't
all
see
they
them
know.
promoting. Excuse me. I don't see them promoting it though. Like
That's
they
all
used to.
they know. Some people I really realize with this, like they're gonna go from this to like a signals group to this. They just don't know how to like be their own person and like teach themselves. Some people have left that and like became great, amazing traders, and I still have them on my feed. And some people left and was like
Went back to their old life. I'm just
jumping
like,
all over the place to different like MLMs or like different things. You're doing taxes, you're doing this, you're doing that. I'm not trying to get too specific, but you know, and I'm just like, you know, sometimes it's like just a regular career is okay. Stability is okay. Doing something within your craft is okay. You don't always need to be like in a group and in these groups. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
feel
it's
like a lot of people just feel like, because especially being from New York, people always say, "Oh, New York people don't support you, people show hate." So it's like when people find those small like groups, those like niches, if that's what you call it, they stick to that and they just abide by that. Where they just feel like, all right, whatever this group is doing, I gotta do it too. Like whatever this group wants to do collectively, that's the right thing to do. Like they don't, like you say, don't know how to just be themselves and whatnot, because they feel like they have to rely on that support that this group is giving them, just because of that's kind of what the culture became. Because now it's like, because Alejandro was just saying, like, he wanted to learn how to do trucking. He went through Facebook and joined a bunch of trucking groups, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong.
and you gather information and you
yeah.
pull from that.
Yeah, even my boy Raph, he just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. He mostly does like marketing video. Like he teaches people how to market, gives them all this game on, just like how to be a business person. And he was saying one thing that stuck to me. It was just like, because obviously I relate to this. Is he was saying he joined Facebook groups for YouTube, like, and from there it's like he started building clientele. Now I'm gonna go do that myself, but it's like, some people really are too reliant on those groups and stuff to, like you said, they can't be themselves and say, instead of me doing this, let me go run some ads or something like that. Let me just go run to a group, drop my information, and hopefully people
I
rock with
do
what I'm
want to
doing.
add, I feel like joining Facebook groups and stuff is a little bit of a different group that I'm talking about. I feel like Facebook groups, that can be like your community and your network. From what I've seen, I see that there's like registered nurse Facebook groups and flight attendant Facebook groups, and like they help each other. They help each other with like all those different problems within their work field. And I do think that it's very valuable to be in, like, I don't think it's like those Facebook communities. Those are awesome. If you're in like a YouTube Facebook community, a podcaster Facebook community, you meet other podcasts, you end up doing collabs, like that can be so like fruitful. But when you're like literally looking for like somebody to pay you on a course to know how to truck and start your own trucking business, and like this is what we see on TikTok a lot, where people are like paying for these super simple courses of like these super simple workout books and these super simple like meal, they literally ChatGPT, and to make a meal prep, and you're literally like buying a meal prep from somebody still because you just don't know how to be like self-sufficient in that way. And it's like, that's what's terrible, because it's like you can literally be like your own person and navigate it through yourself. That's how we end up in those trading groups where the signals ain't hitting. Like, come on, let's make it make sense. Like,
yeah. So yeah, like you said, in regards to food. So I was actually gonna move on to that. So like with what's it called? Well, actually, before I even move on to that, my final point that I want to make is I just feel like people shouldn't give up on. So like, even if something didn't work out, find the good in that, and then like take that good and use it to the best of your advantage. Right? In this case, we're an MLM that had to do with trading. Right? Take the trading part, realize, okay, this is something that could change my life. Go about that, make some money. But to go to the point that you made about like the food part, I was gonna say like, there's a lot of people that quote unquote sell plates, as they like to call it, right? And one thing I hear a lot about people selling plates now is just like the health factors to it. So you as somebody that's like in that industry, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like people aren't careful how they make their food, or
this question? I just actually spoke on this, and I used
Drinks
to
as
be
well.
one of those.
No, I'm saying drinks as well, if you want to speak on that.
I actually just spoke on this, and I feel like Black content creators that are, most of our famous Black content creators that are making food are leading the Black community into diabetes. And I was even aiding and doing the same by making meals that are just full with like carbs and like the mac, the candy yams, and like fried chicken. There's no veggies. There's none of these things. And I never saw a problem with it for a long time until I posted my plates on Facebook and somebody commented like, what is this? Where are the veggies? Like, you got 3 starches on your plate. And I was
it
like,
Leslie? Was it Leslie? It had to be Leslie.
no, it wasn't Leslie.
It would have been him.
It might have been Leslie, but I don't think so. But it's like, nah, it wasn't Leslie. But it's like, I even see his commentary on food, and it's like, you know what? That is so true.
Dog's
and
dinner,
after
like,
that, I
that's
started like
not funny.
forcing that in. Like, all right, I'm gonna give you honey garlic chicken wings and mac, but like, it's gonna come with asparagus, or it's gonna have sauteed broccoli. I'm gonna do it, even if it's not something that's popular and it seems like what everybody wants. I'm not gonna continue to make plates and make food that it's like not gonna have any nutritional value. like we're literally like I can't even think off the top of my head of some of the foods that's being made, but it's like Alfredo stuffed pizza rolls and these things. Like I don't even try to make these things anymore. Like I'm literally my 3-course dinner was Mediterranean food. And it was super healthy. Like I had whipped feta crostinis, lamb kebabs. Like
Yeah,
it was
the hummus.
yeah.
Oh,
Greek
yeah.
yogurt. Well, I had I had a
just got
Greek
into it with
yogurt
that.
and harissa honey dipping
I
sauce
just
for
got
my
into it with
lamb.
that because that started having like kava.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but kava, kava is good.
Mhm.
Like, it's very healthy.
And for my first course, I had fresh gazpacho, and like it wasn't everybody's hit, but they did like it. And gazpacho was literally tomato, cucumbers, like peppers, olive oil, salt, pepper, a little bit of seasoning, fresh.
I
It
didn't
was
even know that was
summertime. Like,
Mediterranean. It's isn't it's.
yeah,
I
you
thought
can
it
make a
was- I thought-
Mediterranean gazpacho.
Oh, okay, I thought,
Yeah,
I
there's
thought
like
it
a
was
Mediterranean
Hispanic.
version.
Oh, okay, I thought it was just Hispanic.
I don't know where it originates from. I don't want to. No,
Yeah, no, it's a Spanish dish, a Hispanic dish.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. But yeah, definitely. I don't feel like, and I also like touching on like safety as far as food. I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of people probably are not making it in safe environments. I
That's
feel like
true.
some people I've seen them make plates and it kind of like came out of nowhere. Like, and that's what worries me a lot. Like, it's like I've never seen you say much. I've never even seen you talk about how much you love cooking or anything. And like all of a sudden you're like posting a menu and you're like selling plates. So like if you don't genuinely love to cook and it's not a passion, I do not want to eat your food.
I can't even trust that you washed your hands just off of that. Like,
Yeah, and a lot of people don't have great integrity either. Like literally, I've had a shrimp fall, chicken wing fall. I'm not putting it back. I'm not doing those kind of things. But I'm not sure if I can trust people with those. Like I'm not sure if I could trust people with those kind of things. I feel like a lot of people are just doing it for the money, doing it very quickly. I've literally seen people sell plates for 3 months and then never post about selling plates again. That is so alarming to me.
what's the excuse? It's a seasonal dish. Like,
No idea. So it's like when you're getting food from people, make sure it's from people that actually like to cook, that actually, care about doing this. I don't care to get plates from somebody who's not really taking it seriously as a catering business or a business. Even like when I sold plates, like I was very organized. I had a delivery driver, menus dropping on a weekly basis. Everything was like very on point. And like I don't sell plates anymore because I feel like that's small money.
I was about to say you're above that now.
I want to do
catering.
dinners. I want to
Yeah.
do events, small catering things. Like
Yeah, but what's cooking over soon? Watch.
right. The what's cooking stuff can really go far.
Oh shit! No pun intended. What's cooking?
Literally.
You know?
So I definitely don't feel like people are putting a lot of love into things, especially the drinks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like the drinks is crazy.
I
They're
used-
like just mixing them lemonade and Henny and then
That's what I'm
calling it
saying.
like
They give it like they call it like I don't know Henny Sunrise or something. Like,
yes. Oh my
They
god,
just
you came
make
up
up-
with that name really fast.
Yeah, because it's like that's what it is, and it's just like not even that, but it's just even with Nutcrackers. It's like I used to. I don't get me wrong. When I was a teenager, when I'm like, oh yeah, we live by underage drinking. We about to do this, and I'm just like, yo, but I don't know if people put it, especially too. There's sometimes I'll see like people have menus and they have infused drinks. I'm just like, yo, what if I accidentally drunk this? Like I probably would have lost my mind or something. So it's like I don't, and that's the thing too. It's like I don't know what people like are putting in those drinks, not just from a drug perspective too. Like I don't know if something I'm allergic to, or same with food, right? Or how much of like a serving that they could do. Like even with lean, like a lot of these rappers die from lean because they overdose. Like it just put too much.
Right.
It's not that they died because lean is bad. I mean, of course it's bad, but it's like they died because they put too much.
To
And
expound.
it's the same with the alcohol. Some people get alcohol poisoning off these nutcrackers, or they're having a night where they pass out and they black out, whatever, because they drink a nutcracker that half the bottle is like,
This doesn't
Straight
even
alcohol.
only apply for liquor. Weed too. A lot of people have been afraid to eat my food, try my edibles, just simply because they've had times where somebody just gave them a crazy edible, or they took too much, or they have a bad experience that scars them because things weren't properly measured. And when I first started my business, I thought it was fun and games. Like honestly, when you're buying, I had to really get very organized in my structure of business because I'm like, okay, cool. I'm buying a zip from the plug. The plug can't tell me the THC count. The plug just giving me a name. And a lot of y'all know, like a couple years ago when we were still using the plugs, there was no label of 26%. There was no organization with the weed that you're getting. So I really didn't know. I was forced to like look up the name. And mind you, sometimes they just name and stuff. So it's not really the weed that's on Leafly and that it doesn't line up. And every weed should be tested because not every batch of weed is going to be 25%. Not every batch is going to be the same percentage. That's a myth.
Especially being in such a big industry now. It's like, these are the questions you got to ask yourself. Like, if you want to get invested into this, because there's a lot of money behind this. A lot of money that's going to come behind this. And it's like, as people that want to invest into this, these are the questions you got to ask yourself, not just jump into it for the money, like Lanaya said earlier.
A lot of people just buy the cheapest weed, zips, shake, like a zip of like some block or some shakes, you know. And those, I'll be honest, like in the beginning, those were the things I would do from time to time because I'm like, okay, it's just making edibles. And then when we got legal, I was like, okay, I'm making edibles, but let's try to be better. You know what I'm saying? And I found out about THC concentrate called Distillate, and that is how I started. I didn't use weed anymore. Weed is kind of scary when it comes to making edibles because the product can be compromised. And we all know what I'm talking about with like when it comes to weed, fentanyl, and all these different things. That was even before fentanyl was big. People were getting laced even before fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? So I realized I didn't even want to infuse my edibles with weed. And to this day, I don't infuse my edibles with weed. And I use a THC concentrate every time. And one with THC concentrates, whatever is 1 ml, if that's the how much 1 ml might have 600 mgs. That's every ml. It's gonna have 600 mgs. Everything is always gonna be measured out. Everything is always gonna make sense. And I just had to learn to take like certain precautions and like just step it up when it came to the quality and what I was doing because I can't be doing what everybody else is doing. I used to not even have the count for my mgs of my edibles, and I used to just like, you know, it used to not be a big deal, but now, especially since I've done a partnership with Happy Cork before, I've shown up at their 420. People come into these places and they want to know exactly what the mg of their eating is, and you have to be able to tell them. You can't just be like, oh yeah, you don't worry, you're gonna feel good. Like no, they want to know exactly because some people know that 20 mgs is too much and 10 is perfect. You have to be able to cater to that. So now everything is labeled properly. Everything has the mgs, and a lot of people, I watch their edibles, they don't have that kind of stuff going on. And it's okay. Like you have a cute name, but you need to step it up being in the weed community because there's a lot of other competition. There's people who are packaging better than you. There's people who are more thorough than you. So why do they have to go with this little whack packaging and just a sticker with no information? You have to step it up.
That's big on marketing. So it's funny that you say that too, because it's like I had an episode, shout out Mula. He was giving a bartending what you want to call it, information on how, you know, how like the bartender game is. And I also had one with my friend Akira where she was speaking about her juicing business. And both of the things that we spoke on was not just being like clean, like in terms of being sanitary, but also too, like you said, labeling, marketing, stuff like that. Because I'll show you Akira's bottles for sure. Like her marketing is A1 when it comes to that. Even Mullah too, like he was talking about how all these different innovative ways he tried to make bottles, you know, in terms of like, you know, just making stuff. And to her food reviews, he was saying like, yo, well, I think I said it, but I was like, yo, it's a lot of restaurants where it's like, they give you a trash drink, but you'll buy it because it came in like a pineapple bowl or something. Like, you know what I mean? Or like the you know those restaurants that have like the dove shaped glasses?
It's
like,
lots of aesthetic over quality. Even when it comes to the bartenders, you're hiring pretty women and not actual people who know how to mix a drink, a mixologist, a proper bartender. You're hiring people that just look good behind the bar. I've been to a couple establishments in Brooklyn like that. I will always, and this is not just
Queens
because
too. Man, they're everywhere.
I love to see women behind the bar, trust me. But if you are pretty and cannot make me a well-crafted cocktail, that is the fastest way to piss me off.
Yeah, I go like, I like no shade to my friends, but I have some friends like that where they're like, oh, I'm a bartender. I'm like, since when? Yeah,
like I don't want a cranberry and vodka with a black straw stirred. I want a whiskey sour with a egg white in it. Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, so we gotta get going into the Royal Connections event. It was definitely a pleasure to have Lanaya here, not just as our co-host, but it seemed like she was really the guest. The way she was giving everybody the information on not just the cannabis industry, but also too like, you know, the MLM industry. So definitely a pleasure to have her, and
Thank you
of
guys
course,
for
in the near
having me.
future, we're gonna have more episodes as well coming up where you'll see her face, of course. And yeah, just like that, as always, show love to. Well, in this case, show love to us since she's with the team, right? Usually I say us and the guests,
Yes.
but with us. And yeah, do you want to introduce anybody to your personal pages, business pages?
Okay, so if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is it's NiMF. So ITSNIYMF. It's Nine motherfucker, and that's the same
Okay.
handle for TikTok as well.
I was wondering what the MF
So,
was. Because
It's
I
Nine
know, I know, I
motherfucker.
know, I know M is like an initial in your name, so I'm just like, where's the
Nah.
F from? But yeah.
That's where you guys can find me. I'm way more fun on TikTok though later.
Where's the TikTok? You gave them the TikTok?
Yeah, it's the same as
Oh no, you
Instagram.
said it so fast. I was still stuck on the MF part.
I'm dead. Nah, it's the same as my Instagram. So I try to like have it very consistent because I feel like to have a different name from your Instagram and your TikTok, it's like I want people to find me on both.
Yeah.
Some
then-
people want the private TikTok.
Do you do that for the food as well?
I have a what? My Instagram? For
Yeah, I'm
my-
saying
my
Instagram
business?
versus TikTok. Yeah,
I feel like
you should do one for TikTok too.
I have a business page on TikTok. I don't post on it much. I just feel like with TikTok, random things get a lot of traction. And then when I post my business, it's like, but you should still post your business regardless. And I still do post my business. When I did my 3-course dinner, when I did my barbecue, I always
Yeah,
like
I'll
try
say
to
stuff like
create
that.
content and like post it to show people the events and the things I'm putting together. But I'm very dedicated to my business page as well.
Yeah, you should even post when you make the food because people like the organic, raw, natural stuff. So stuff like that to consider.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, as always, y'all know where to find us at. Just like that, we out.